Hey, what's up, team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. I've got a little metaphor exploration video that I'm going to do today. Somebody wrote a comment on one of my metaphor videos, and I was like, oh yeah, haven't done those in a while. So it was kind of just in my brain a little bit, and for whatever reason, I was just like, man, I feel overloaded. Overloaded? What could that be like? And so I started exploring the metaphor behind overloaded, which I'm going to talk about today, and I'll be drawing a little picture, great art skills, and kind of run you through the process of how I discovered this cool metaphor for what's going on. I have my MacBook over here, an iPad here, so I'm very busy right now, but I'll try to do my best. Like I said, I felt like I'm overloaded and like I'm just taking on more than I can handle. And because of that, I was thinking about it, and I felt like my body is just taking in more stimulation than it can really hold. And if I felt like I was going to explode. So this overloaded was not like too much baggage, but it was like I'm being overly charged with something, like the more I thought about it. And so I felt like I was going to explode at some point, and I was like, is it good? Is it bad? Didn't really have an answer. Like, I imagined exploding, which feels like it should be a bad thing, but I wasn't like too upset about it. And then I kind of thought about it, and I was like, well, I'll cease to exist in the way that I am now. So something's going to change. There was also this other kind of feeling that maybe if I didn't explode, that I was just kind of gonna fizzle out and just shut off, like the connectors or whatever would not work. So it was pretty interesting, and I decided to continue to explore that by asking, what is that overload like? As I said, it was this electrical charge. And where is it coming from? Well, it's coming from a cable that was attached, I'm going to put this over here, to my arm, which is really strange. So it felt like it was clamped on here in my arm, and sometimes I felt a little in my legs. Just a little note, I have restless leg syndrome. I think that's what it's called. I hurt my spine breakdancing many years ago, and since then, I twitch when I get really tired. And I went to the doctor and stuff, and they're like, oh, there's no problem. MRIs, oh, nothing's wrong. But it still happens, right? So I'm very aware of the feeling of electricity, kind of, it feels like it's coursing through you, and it just makes you shake it off a little bit. It's really strange, but that's what I'm feeling. And hopefully through exploring this metaphor, I'm going to be able to kind of ease that a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's see what else. So it originally felt like there was a clamp, but when I looked closer, it felt more like a headphone jack, but a bigger one, like an audio jack. Two of them just plugging in, which was strange. I was like, that's weird. Sometimes in these metaphor explorations, weird stuff comes up, and you're just like, I don't really know how to feel about that. The natural extension from that is well, where does that cable go? I know that it's plugged into me on this side, but what's on the other side? And through following the cable, I noticed that there was this giant battery right in front of me. So to the right and front. Northeast, I guess. if I'm facing in that direction. Yeah, right in front of me. And it felt like it was maybe like 5 meters away. The cable itself, the cord was not like taut. There was some leeway to it. And the battery felt like it was about my wingspan long. And it was maybe 7.5 feet high and wingspan and a half long. Sorry, the original was wingspan wide, 7.5 feet tall, and then a wingspan and a half long. So it's longer than it is wide. And there were some buttons in the front and like a red and green light that keep pulsing on and off. Don't really know what that was about yet. Hopefully I'll figure it out. And at this point, something, I don't know what it was, encouraged me to look down. And oddly enough, I'm standing in a puddle with a cable attached to my arm and to a giant battery. So of course I'm going to be overcharged. I'm going to feel overloaded. And this also naturally answered one of the questions that you would normally ask of what's below you, what's under you, what are you standing on, what are you standing for, and those kind of things. So that was kind of already answered. And what's to the left? So now you start to explore the directions, and it's usually easier to go left first. So exploring to the left, I was like, okay, what's to the left of me? Nothing. But nothing is often something. Like there's a nothing of an actual void of nothing, right? The abyss. Or there's something that you're like, it doesn't feel like it's important, so you don't explore it, but you should. I said, there's nothing there, and it turned out, when I was looking more and more, that it's the edge of a cliff. So I'm standing on the edge of a cliff in a puddle with a battery cable attached to my arm to this giant battery that's up in front of me. Like I said, weird stuff happens. And looking further, it's important to remember to kind of zoom in and zoom out. And when I zoomed out, I saw there was another cliff out in the distance. And then following that down, there's like a nice sandy, relaxing beach and the ocean. So that was pretty interesting. And next, what's to the right? What's right? I zoned out at this point, which was really weird. And I just skipped a bunch of steps and went to the question of what do I do in this situation? How do I handle this situation? And I didn't even realize that I stopped looking to what's right for me, which is strange. And it's also kind of a sign that, you should probably explore that more. You as in me. And so I asked myself, what should I do in this situation? Or what do I do in this situation? And I just was like, I just kind of stand there and deal with it and alternate the places where the cord is plugged in so that one doesn't get overly charged. I don't disconnect it. I don't get out of the situation by stepping out of the puddle. I just kind of endure. And then you kind of ask yourself, you're like, how is that advice? If you were to see somebody in the same situation, oddly enough, would you give that advice? Be like, hey man, no, it's cool. Just stand there, alternate every once in a while. You'll be cool. Just deal with it. Probably not. That's probably awful advice. But like I said, it was me skipping that right side and exploring some other ideas. So later, when I did explore what was to the right, I'll tell you in a bit. I can't say that now, because I didn't realize at that point that I didn't do that. And then I was like, oh yeah, I need to explore. So what's in front of me? Well, directly in front of me, there's more cliff edge. So I couldn't, like, if I wanted to, I couldn't walk in front of me. But I can go to the front right, which seems like kind of a natural extension of the landscape. It kind of crescents out a little bit. I'll draw a picture in a minute. But I'm hopefully explaining this well enough. What's behind? Well, it's the slope that steeply descends down back towards the sandy beaches. So like I can in my mind's eye or whatever, I can look back and, you know, there's a steep cliff will descend, and then it just loops right back around into the beach area over here. And there were some trees in the background, some nice kind of tropical trees. What's up? Well, I look up and I was like, oh, it feels like there's clouds, but it also kind of felt sunny, and I couldn't really figure it out right away. And then I physically shifted my position in real life. I don't know if that was a good choice or not, but it was there's a bright light coming from the window. So I kind of shifted a little bit, went like this, and I noticed that up in front of me is like a clear sunny sky, and directly above me was rain clouds, as well as up and behind me is rain clouds. And I guess that's kind of where the puddle came from. That's what I would assume, right? Seems to make sense. So at this point, I start taking some steps. This Metaphors of Movement that I'll link below in the description. The guy that made this, Andrew Austin, very awesome dude. But it's all about movement within the metaphor. It's not changing the metaphor. It's changing your perspective and your stance within the metaphor. So it's all about taking steps. So start to the left. Nope. Not gonna step off the cliff. Not gonna do that. Does not seem like a good idea. Nope, my way out of that. To the right, this is kind of where I realized that I didn't actually explore it. I take a step, and then I'm still in water. But the water felt like it kind of expanded over to me, which was really weird. So I took another step, and I was still in water. And so like I kind of went back, and it was like I didn't even look to the right. So now it's time that I kind of look to the right, and I see, you know, trees way into the distance, and there's a river that I'm standing in. So it's not a puddle necessarily, it's a river. And I felt like it was a puddle that kind of changes into a river. Like there was this huge, heavy rainstorm, and that's kind of running into a larger river. I don't really understand how the geography works within that. Might be some like internal blocking of the vision, like I don't want to explore what's over there. Not sure. So I came back to the safe edge of the cliff in the puddle with a cable attached to me and the battery. And I'm gonna hopefully draw the picture. But I hope I explained it well enough. So if what color should I be? I like green. Okay, this is me. La la la. And then there's the cliff edge here that I'm standing on. And this kind of loops around over here. There's another little cliff point, and it goes over here. The big battery is over here. Not a circle, but it wants to make it a circle. Okay. It's connected with a cable. And there is a puddle. Ooh, a puddle. That goes into the river over here. And down below is ocean going into this kind of sandy beach over here. And another little cliff edge. Does that make sense? I think it's okay. And I feel like drawing some trees. These are not other me's. These are trees. Okay. So that's kind of how it looks in my mind, how I imagined it. Obviously, I step to the left and don't step to the left because that's a bad idea. And then I go to the right, and this river extends out. And in front of me, I can't really walk straight forward because I'll fall off the cliff. But I can go towards what's right in front of me. And here there's this kind of, it feels like a lightly treaded path here. Like it's, there's some grass and stuff, but it's not like anything that's been walked on a whole bunch of times. And back, I can't walk directly back because I'll fall off that cliff. And, but I can go right behind me. And when I do, I step out of that water, just as if I was going forward to the right, I would step out of the water and it would be fine. If I go here, I start to slip and fall down that hill. Descending down, it's wet, there's water runoff from the river, and it's this steep decline, so it's really difficult. And I'm like, that's not a good idea. I'm not going to do that anymore. So I stopped that. Here, I'm like, well, how in the heck did I get here? And initially, I was just like, well, probably I walked there, right? I mean, maybe I climbed up the hill. I love beaches and stuff, but maybe I left the beach and kind of went up the hill and found myself there. Or maybe I came from the forest, followed along the river, found a battery and was like, here, this is a good idea, and just kind of stood there at the edge of the cliff. I don't know, they didn't really feel like it didn't feel right. It felt like something was different. And then I was like, maybe I airdropped in, which kind of makes sense in a way. Like, I mean, I live in Japan. I took an airplane over here. Maybe I certainly didn't walk here. Yeah, but something like kept telling me that maybe I parachuted in or airdropped in. If that strikes an idea for you, please let me know. So now this is kind of the fun part. Another fun part, anyway, is exploring the idioms. When you're exploring these metaphors, you want to think about what other English language or whatever language, I guess, phrases, idioms actually work with that metaphor. And I'm just going to read through some that I made, and these help you explore how to interact with it. I'm overloaded, obviously. I'm overcharged. I'm on the edge. I'm a sitting time bomb. Like I felt like I was going to explode, right? I'm about to explode. My body is at its limits, or I'm at my limits. Yeah, there's something else in there. I'm charged up. I'm coursing with energy. I'm in a difficult situation, but I haven't taken steps towards what's right in front of me. and I haven't really dealt with the situation. My environment is conductive and giving me energy or charging me. I've left a peaceful situation. To my left in this metaphor is the beach, and it's nice and pretty. So I've left that situation. I'm looking down at what I've left. So I'm above wherever I came from. That's a status thing as well. Kind of maybe I look down onto my past and feel that I'm better than that, feel that I'm above that. I'm adapting to a big source of energy. I'm currently getting charged up. Like maybe I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. That was the weakest war cry. The path is right in front of me. So I just need to do what's right in front of me. And that source of energy is also right in front of me. It's a massive jolt. Like there's a massive jolt in my life right now, which is true. And just doing what's right isn't going to change the situation really. If I follow along that river, I'm still in the water. Like I'm in this strange situation, and the cable's still attached to me, at least to a point. Going with what's right might be a good idea, but I don't know where it'll lead because I blocked it. Like I didn't really explore over there. So I don't really know what's right for me, or going with what's right. What's that going to do for me? Where is it going to take me? If I do what's right, I'll inevitably lose my connection to the source of energy and excitement. And the situation I'm in is transforming me. The water is, boosting it and transforming for me. I'm conducting myself this way, whatever this way is. Maybe I'm on edge and it's my choice. Which I don't feel like I'm too much on edge, but a little bit. I'm juiced, but I'm still worried. I can't or don't want to go back. It's looking to be a bright future. I like that one. Difficult times have passed or are in my past. And I fell into this situation. So there are tons of idioms that I can now just think about and let kind of ruminate, I guess, and bounce around a little bit. And hopefully it'll kind of hit me a little bit more at some point and be like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted out of this metaphor exploration. That's why I'm feeling this way. And a little side note, I do have some massive changes going on in my life. Business is working out really well, and I'm very excited. I've been doing a lot more conscious meditation. I do meditate every day, but focusing that a little bit more and taking training courses and stuff like that. So I am definitely charged and excited, and I think that could be part of this whole thing and some other stuff that's going on. So I hope that was insightful. I hope it helps you a little bit to understand the process of going through these. Like I said, Andrew T. Austin is the man. His product, Metaphors of Movement and Metaphors in My Attic, are amazing. It's a course that I took. You can take it online. You should, if you're into this stuff anyway. And I think it could be helpful, whether you're into like life coaching and therapy and stuff, or you just want to figure out a little bit more about yourself, or play around with a story and metaphor and stuff like that, or all of the above like I like to do. So I hope it was helpful. I hope that it made sense and you really got an idea of the metaphor that's going on in my life and how that's, it can happen with other people too. similar situations, completely different situations, but there's always a way, if you really listen, to understand where people are in their life by the words that they use and the metaphors that they kind of hang on to. Okay? Well, thank you very much for watching. Good luck, have fun, and good luck on your journey as well. Be a hero. Go do it. All right. See you.